Tottenham Hotspurs finally won themselves something beautiful, something in their history, they've only done one other time. But this is very special because after so many years of investing in the club, chopping and changing and doing all sorts, they finally laid their hands. And that man, Postecoglou, finally, came through. He's a prophet of some sort, right? He told them every second season, he wins things, and that's exactly what he has done. But in the process of doing that, Manchester United were the victims. And this season, it's no news anymore that Tottenham Hotspurs have found a way to marry Manchester United. But we're going to get into all of that in a matter of minutes. My name is Joseph Faulkner. I'm welcoming you all to Sports Hub on NigezieXtreme, your one-stop shop for everything that has to do with sports. Today on the show, we have a very special person.
Thank you very much.
Keep quiet.
It's not me.
See,
Is it not me?
today I'm in control.
I've been preparing.
Keep quiet. I'm not talking to you. You are
That's
not
not the
special.
etiquette of
You are not
broadcasting.
special.
Who's
You are
introducing
just a prop on this show.
A very important prop.
It's okay. I'll get to you. So ignore whatever that guy is. We have a special person on the show today. It took us a lot to get her to come on this show. We sent emissaries. We had to write, a formal letter. We bought gifts. We did everything humanly possible. Eventually, we've been trying to get her for so long, but eventually, she's here. And we had to weigh between herself and Rotimi, and we realized that Rotimi is the weak link here. So let's bring somebody,
Rotimi. They're not abusing your absence.
And please, don't tell him I said so. But I'm talking about none other than Opeyemi Umoru. Ope, how are you?
I'm fine. It's good to be here.
How do you feel to finally
meet me?
With the formal and informal letter, with the invite of from the presidential invite.
Did your management team let you know that we sent all sorts?
Yeah, they did. They actually did.
So
just have to think about it.
You like Portable. Nobody is talking to you now.
No, they didn't.
I have a lot to
say.
say. I have a lot to say, Joseph Faulkner. I have a lot to say.
Okay, he's here. Oh yeah.
Where were you the week when I got 3/3? Where were you?
Where were you the week I got 4/4?
I was here.
Where were you the week I got 5/5?
Calm down. You do it once.
So you did 3.
You do
and
it
you are
once.
making noise.
My point is that
Consistently getting, please. And I'm not holding this thing when we're predicting again. Never. So is that all you have to say? That's Femi Faraway, by the way, the problem child on the show.
That's all that.
You all know the problem child. But guys, what a week it was. The highlight of the week had to be the Europa League final.
Yeah.
And did it go, or let me start from you. Did it go like you thought it would?
Nobody saw that coming.
Nobody?
Yeah, because both teams has been awful, not in the Europa League, but in the league itself. And two awful teams meeting themselves in the final. It's not the final we expected. Like, it's kind of boring. But, Manchester United, on the other hand, coming 14 games of beating prior to the final, and they eventually lost that particular tie. I think it's just a case of two bad teams, and one get the final to win for itself.
Was it what you expected?
the game or
Did you
the
think
finalists?
Spurs will win it?
I did think Spurs will win.
So you are not like Ope that thought that nobody...
No. I thought Spurs will win. I thought Spurs will win because, one, Spurs has beaten United every time this season. Always they've gotten the advantage over United every time. And then second, once Spurs scored first, in every game they scored first this season, they don't go to lose that game. So there were just too many things. I've always said that I don't think, while it's a process, and we always say a process, you give the manager time. This year, this season, Amorim has failed. There's no English this year. Next year, he can be successful, and it's possible. But this year, because I haven't seen a style of play, maybe because he hasn't had preseason, he hasn't had time, he hasn't had the transfer window he wants to get players, I knew United were already a wall waiting to crack. They may have beaten Bilbao in that ground. They may have beaten Lyon to make it this far. But in the Premier League, the way they played against Premier League teams, look at the game against West Ham. West Ham were not good. West Ham have not been good this year. And it took United at Old Trafford to the cleaners. Look at what Southampton did to United. It needed brilliance of Ahmad to turn around their game. So I'm saying United don't have a pattern. And even the game they played, the Europa League, there still wasn't a pattern. United did everything, pumped the ball forward. You cannot say, okay, if United do this sequence 3, 4, 5 times, somebody will get onto the end of the ball. It wasn't there. If you look through every other top team, there's a sequence. This is what we are planning to do. This is how we get to this stage. This is what will happen. If you do it 3 or 4 times, something will happen. Let me give you an example. Arsenal playing PSG, second leg semi-final. Remember, the plan was long throws. What did Arsenal do well? And Arsenal eventually lost that game, just for record's sake. But Arsenal won the first and the second balls. That shows there was a pattern. Arsenal will win the first ball, Arsenal will win the second ball. The only thing that PSG will do is prevent them from going through. So there was a system. If you look at what Inter did, there was a system. Barcelona, there was a system.
But when you say system, Femi, are you not overtly criticizing this United side? Look at the way they played. They were in total control of the game. Yes. They had, at the end of the game, they had 73% of the possession. They were passing, they were trying to go through the middle at some point. Then eventually, when Garnacho came on, they switched to the wings and started crossing. In the first half, they didn't cross into the box at all. They were trying to pass into the box.
Why?
So because they felt that they could play to the feet of Højlund. Yeah.
Højlund is also tall now.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, if you are putting the ball to the head of Højlund, who is supporting him?
See, I agree that the manager will not be sacked, should not be sacked. So it means that you automatically give your team a free hand. I don't think Amorim has to start playing his future football now. Because you came in when the season was on. When he came in, ensure say at all, you know bad. You've gotten to the final. Because people have given credit to the manager for getting to the final. But I blame the team for where they are in the league. And I'm like, no. It's the same team that's playing the cup, that's playing. So if you're giving the manager credit in the league, give him stick. If you're giving the players credit, give them stick where they're not doing well. So you have a tall striker. And other than injuries, but Spurs also have injuries of their own. There was no Kulusevski in that game, remember? There was no Madison in that game. So even without their best players, they played well. Son did not start that game.
No, he didn't.
So my question is, if United had a lot of their, and Bruno was there, everything good from United goes through Bruno. But even Bruno had flashes. Not enough. Bruno didn't take that. And this is the second Europa League final. Under Bruno, United are losing.
Okay. Okay. So everybody keeps going back to Arsenal and what Arsenal has done, Arsenal and how they've given Arteta time. But we know that in today's football, hardly will you find clubs that give managers that long rope to do whatever they like. But Arteta was lucky. Number one, is an Arsenal former player who came into the side and was able to, his slides and PDF wowed the owners, and he was able to give them yardsticks to measure his growth. That in the first 2 years, this is what we'll have achieved. In the third year, we will have gone, and for some reason, everything he told them they were going to do at the exact time. By the time he got to year 4, he exceeded expectation. But the first 3 years, he met every expectation. So yes, they gave him the time. But with Amorim, he's only spent 6 months in charge, right? Is it fair to judge him with what has happened, considering the fact that he's yet to buy his own kind of players? Because no matter what you do, you must buy the tools you think will be good for the job. So is it fair to judge him based on what has happened to this United team that he inherited?
Yeah, I think for me, everybody have shares of their blame. The player, the administrators, down to Amorim himself. Because why he's brought to the team was what he did with Sporting, and coming to United side that is depleted. Yeah, we know the team is bad when he came in, but they are not this bad. So they brought him in to like elevate the team, which he didn't do in the league. Then we wanted to like, okay, let's see what he will do with the Europa League. He's not forthcoming too. He lost the final. I mean, you went 14 games of beating and losing the final.
He wasn't the only one. No. Eric Ten Hag also won a few of those games. Eric Ten Hag also ensured they were unbeaten in some of those games. I think that there are two things, and I like the example you mentioned, Arsenal. Arteta has put marks that, okay, and we all agree Arsenal is on the up. Yeah. All that remains is winning a trophy. Yeah. Arsenal is on the up.
So I think that's the state they are now. They must win trophies.
On the other hand, while they're not on the up, they've been winning trophies. Yeah. Man United has won 2 trophies in the last 2 years, and they've gone into another final. So while they have cracks and problems, and that's the work Amorim is supposed to fix, then are you a system?
But do you know fixing that crack might mean not winning anything?
I agree.
But building a solid team.
My question is in the league, because I'm not even judging it by the Europa League. Yeah. I think Europa League was a success. I agree with you, it was a success. Where did they lose? It was a success. The league itself, are you saying that he cannot play? But he has worse players than Everton, then Wolves.
So
And those guys sacked their manager, and the new manager turned things around.
So-
found a way to patch it to the end of
so
the
are
year.
you saying this is all Amorim, not the players?
I'm saying it's all Amorim. Because the reason why I'm not going to blame the players is if Man United had won that final, I will give the credit to the coach. And the coach came in, because remember Klopp's first season, he played the Europa League final, he lost it. I remember it was with Kolotori and co. He lost that final. Did we blame him? No. We said, you know what? You failed. You failed in this final.
So what
maybe the word
problem
failure is
I have
strong.
with
Maybe the word
you
failure is
is
strong.
this fail that you
So maybe the word failure
always
is strong.
use.
So the fact that he got into a final and did not win the final, right? We said, okay, you know what? It's your first year.
Is that not a sign that he can do something with this team?
Unfortunately, the Europa League, the Champions League are competitions. We always say that what you used to judge is when you're running a marathon, which is what
But the Europa League,
now is
the
a
Champions
league.
League, they played at least 12 games.
So now it is a league. Before it was a competition.
So even before, there was the group stage where you play 4 teams in a group or 5 teams in a group. You play, you go up against each other two times each. What UEFA just removed is playing one team twice in the group stage. That's all. So it's still the same thing. You still play the same 8 games at the beginning in the group stage, and then you continue like it was. So at the end of the day, it's not just a knockout thing. They played the league phase before they got to, and even when they got to the knockout stage, they were playing over 2 legs.
But he didn't play the league phase. It wasn't
So the point remains that he got to the finals. Whenever he took over the team,
knockout football.
he took over the team and they got to the finals. They could have been knocked out by Bilbao. They could have been knocked out by Lyon. He got to the final. Isn't that enough sign that he can actually work with this team?
It's a sign that so I give you another question. The hallmark of a good coach is how you coach a player or coach a team. Now, we can't say the players are bad because we've seen a few of these players do good things. Right? Some of them are international players playing for some of the best teams. Garnacho plays for Argentina. Ahmad currently is obviously going to pull a lot of interest. Bruno plays for Portugal. I'm asking you this question, and I hope somebody can tell me. Apart from Ahmad, how many other players in Man United have improved since he came on? Because before Amorim came in, we saw Kobe Mainoo playing well. We saw Garnacho playing decent. The jury is still out, but he was playing decent. But once he came, all those guys went down. Bruno has been consistent. So Bruno has been on the same level. Bruno did not change. The only person that picked was Ahmad. So I'm asking, has anybody else shown progress? Because if you talk about developmental coach, PSG, for example, you can see what he's done to Bakola. You can see what he's done to...
How many years has he been there?
This is the second season.
Okay.
So I am agreeing with you.
So let the man stay and work with the team. So I feel we're being too judgmental because of how bad they've been in the league. And I think the Premier League was poor generally this season. The Premier League was overall poor. But I'm going to ask you this, Okwe. 16th and 17th in the Premier League, playing in the finals of the Europa League. What does that say about the Europa League itself? Is it a weak league? Is it a weak competition? If the 16th and 17th place team, we've all agreed that United were poor in the league, but they were beating Bilbao, that is in the top 5 or top 6 in Spain, top 4 in Spain now. They're beating Lyon, you know. So if for all it's worth, 16th and 17th place in the Premier League are playing in the finals of the Europa League, what does that say about the Europa League?
I think it has nothing to do with the league itself. I think it has to do with people participating in the league. Don't get me wrong. Like, you know, when we talk about different league, how powerful they are, I think it shows that the Premiership is a powerful league. You could see a 17.
Is this a testament to the strength of the Premier League?
Yes, that is where I'm going to. You could see that the 16th and the 17th playing in the final. What happened to Bilbao?
Because look at Chelsea as well. Look at Chelsea
to the Conference League. You could see the difference.
It is not.
It's not a one-off. It's not a one-off, Femi. It's not.
In the last 4 years, how many Premier League teams have you seen in the semi-finals of all the competitions in Europe? Constantly, they are there. So constantly, you have 2.
Yeah.
It means that constantly you're in the top 4.
Yeah.
Right? How many times have English teams won those finals?
Okay, so you can talk about winning the finals, but you can't ignore the fact that you are in the
Working
top
their
four.
way
So
to the final.
the disparity between the first place team or the first two teams in Spain and the others, that means is wide.
Top three.
Unlike
three.
Top two.
Top
because
three.
where's Atletico Madrid?
Third.
Where are they in
They
Europe?
got knocked out by the champions.
Where are they in Europe?
They got knocked out by the champions.
Where are they? At what point did they get knocked out?
By the champions, yeah.
At what point did they get
First
knocked
time
out?
they had to play.
So the point remains that the disparity in position is wide. Because if the 16th and 17th place, if the fourth team in England is playing in the finals of the Conference League, the second place team in England, who everybody agreed by their own standard had a poor season, at least compared to last season and the last, played in the semi-finals of the
But got
Champions
beaten
League.
by a team in what
That
we call-
won the Ligue 1.
But are you comparing the Ligue 1 and the Premier
So
League?
the point remains that Ligue 1 has one team that is better than every other team in Ligue 1.
Using this same position of yours, it means Bodo Glimt, who made a semi-final.
Yeah.
Their league is strong, and that's the Norwegian league.
No. So how many Norwegian teams were in any of the semi-finals?
It's just
Bodo Glimt.
We're telling you that 4 English teams were in the semi-finals of all the 4 tournaments, all the 3 tournaments. 1, 2, 16th and 17th placed in England played in the finals of the Europa League.
I don't know.
I would have expected an Athletic Bilbao to knock out a Manchester United.
Well, it depends on
I would
how
have
you-
expected a Lyon to knock out a Manchester
Manchester
United
United.
by virtue of the kind of season those two teams are having in their leagues.
Well, unfortunately, Maguire had other ideas.
Forget Maguire. It's about
I
the
think
team.
it's a, no. So when I say this, I think it was a one-off because I think that Spurs.
It's not one-off. It's been happening.
it's not.
Femi, semi-finals in the last 3 years.
So
I've
I-
had 4
It's not
English
one-off.
teams.
So I'm saying that when you mention the Conference League, I get that because obviously Chelsea,
even the Champions League.
Chelsea had the juggernaut in that. In the Champions League last season, there was no English team in the semi-final.
How many teams got to the? Well, that was last season. 2 seasons ago, there were 2 teams.
Yes, there was it one team?
2.
There was one team. 2 seasons ago, it was one team, and that was Manchester City who went on to win it. Right? It wasn't 2. It was 1.
Don't worry.
Last
Because
year,
I know
because last year Arsenal got knocked out in the quarterfinal to Bayern Munich, so they didn't make the semi-final. Right? Man City lost out as well, thanks to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Also didn't make it that far. So I'm saying that while I agree that there's some form of consistency, and yes,
Manchester City won the Champions League last year.
no, they didn't win. Last year was
2
Real
years
Madrid.
ago, sorry.
So that's why I
2
said
years
2 years
ago.
ago I agree with you.
Yeah.
Right? I'm saying that it doesn't always happen. And this year,
So, Femi, if the Premier League keeps producing, if we can get a start of all the teams, if you're saying quarterfinals, what it means is you don't have to win the Premier League
So that
to
means
do well in the.
so that means
Europe.
that means
Yeah.
we need to give Spain some credit.
Nobody's taking
this
credit
year,
for
no,
them.
I'm saying
But
that
how
this
many
year-
times have you seen Spanish team? Okay, when was the last time 2 Spanish teams played in the finals of the Europa League or the Champions League?
I'm going to have to do my research. I don't have that information.
So what I'm saying is, in recent years, the Spanish teams are, for me, they understand playing in Europe better than any other
Yeah.
whatever. But in recent years, you cannot ignore the rise of the English teams.
I
And
agree.
if 2 teams that we termed poor can play in the finals of a competition, it tells you the strength of the league.
It's just one-off. I think it's a one-off. If
It
they can
is
do it,
not.
I think
It
that
is
if they
not.
can, if
Who
they
won,
can,
who won the last
Europa League.
2 Europa Leagues? There is an English team in it.
2 Europa Leagues? No.
The last
2 Europa League. No.
the last 2.
2, no. No, the last Europa League, no. An English team has not won the Europa League in a while.
Sorry, West Ham.
Conference
I was
League.
Conference League.
So it's the Conference League, one of the last, so that's 2 leagues ago, because Olympiacos won the last one.
Yeah, the last
one
one,
before that
yeah.
one was West Ham. Agreed. But I'm saying that Europa League, I don't remember, I think the last English team to play in the final was Manchester United. They lost to
Who was the
Villarreal.
last Premier League team to win the Europa League?
It was Man United.
It was
We're going to
was
break right
Manchester
now.
United.
We're going to. I just want to remind you, it wasn't far away. It
was very far.
We'll
It was
take a break.
Mourinho.
We'll take a break on
Yeah.
the show. We'll take a break on the show where we'll be back to talk about a lot of other things. Something is going on in Nigeria is the National Sports Festival, and there are some stories around the National Sports Festival. We'll be back to talk about that. Don't go anywhere. You're still watching Sport Hub on NigezieXtreme. The National Sports Festival is ongoing in Abeokuta Gateway Games 2024, even though it's on in 2025. We know the stories around all of that. You know, on this show, we've talked about how it kept getting postponed and all of that. But you're still watching Sport Hub on NigezieXtreme. My name is still Joseph Faulkner. I've got Okwe Okoyemi Umoru with me, and I've got that guy.
Imoru.
Okay.
Imoru.
Thank you.
It's because you don't want to introduce me. That's why you're forgetting that name. Open your heart and introduce
am I forgiven?
Yeah, you are.
And that guy is still here.
Open your heart.
That one. But guys, National Sports Festival. What's been the highlight for you, Okwe?
I think the opening ceremony for me it's like a movie because nobody saw that coming.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a movie. Aside from the artist,
why would it?
I think it was a colorful event.
They should have brought Portable and Ogun State boy. Yes.
They started your place.
No,
but I think it was
vice president.
Exactly. I think that Davido was apt. I like the facilities. I've abused it.
They've shocked me.
Yes.
You know me, I saw something and I was like, they can't be ready.
Yes.
I was shocked.
The facilities I've seen, even the swimming facility, even me, I was like,
That's swimming pool fine though.
Even I won't lie to you.
Water clean. And the pool itself was clean.
And then from what I've seen, no, it's been good.
So it's
although the distance is a problem.
Okay,
yeah.
so
distance is a problem.
So, and that's where I'm going to go to. A lot of athletes have complained. Some Nigeria handball team, I think they were walked over. Niger State. Forgive me, Niger State. The handball team, they were walked over. Their game on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
They were walked over because they said they couldn't get to the.
Easy now.
But
it's not easy.
But first of all, I London 2012, right? It's not show off. I covered London 2012.
You want to compare London?
And I know the British government made the English government. I beg your pardon. They made transportation very easy for everybody. I know how tough it was for me getting to the stadium, to the London stadium to watch the athletics and all of that. From where I wasn't staying in the Games Village, I was in a hotel somewhere far away. But one of the things that I've been asking about and nobody has given me any concrete whatever, because the Games Village is in Babcock University, Ileshan. Yeah. And from Ileshan to Abeokuta is about 35-40 minutes.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time. But if you are in a competition and you know that you're going to be competing in 40 minutes, shouldn't you be there like an hour and a half before that?
So what's the story around logistics? Because for me, logistics is the cocoa.
Yeah, so
because if you're telling me it's going to take me 30 minutes, let me even be nice and say 30 minutes, not 40 minutes you said. It means that, and my games are saying in the afternoon at 12.
Yeah.
And the first set, they came to carry the first set at 8 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
I will not follow the first set now. I have to wait. If the bus doesn't come, let's say that comes at 12.
It's just not one bus.
But I'm saying that let's assume that the bus is not full. With how much petrol is now and diesel is.
So Femi, I think you're looking at it the wrong way. Nobody's going to be considering fuel and everything for this competition. Oh yes. Because the bus is not going to just sit down there and wait for people. The buses rather, they are all moving. And individual states should also have their own plan B. That's because
that's
complaining about the
same world.
Because the conversation, we're in a same world. We're in a ordinary.
The world is really ending.
We are in a same world.
Check.
You know, yes, I'm never on the side of administrators when they are not doing the right thing. But I feel like the Ogun State government have done enough to make it easy for people to get from point A to point B. Somebody said that it took them 2 hours to get from Ileshan to Abeokuta, and I'm like, no, even from Lagos, I'll get to Abeokuta in less than 1 hour, 15 minutes. Yeah. You know, so I don't know where they went to. Maybe the driver missed road, and they first of all went to Ibadan and came back. You know, but there's no way you get to get from Ileshan to Abeokuta in 2 hours. But they should make it better.
So that's why I said make it better. This is going to teach us because the next time we're going to Calabar. I think Calabar is the next state owned.
Oh, Calabar. Don't worry, they won't have problems in Calabar. Because the stadiums, the venues they will use in Calabar,
they are closer.
They are actually going to
UGS Stadium.
UGS Stadium is going to be there. The school, Unical, then the Polytechnic.
Unical is very close to the stadium now.
Unical is close to. So Calabar is close to everywhere. Everywhere in Calabar is close to everywhere.
That is far from each other.
Proximity and all of that.
Exactly. So you don't have that problem.
So that's why we're saying they won't have a problem.
I'm saying that logistics is a problem now. Whether it is communication,
I don't think it's a problem.
So whether it is communication, either the athletes and the delegates did not communicate properly to the organizers that we're moving at this time?
No.
Or there is...
So I know you are looking for ways to just rope the organizers in, and I'm telling you that
Organizers
there's
must be
nothing. No, there's nothing. The organizers have done everything, put everything.
They've done
on the
everything
table.
with the facilities.
Everything.
Yes, I'm giving them thumbs
No,
up.
everything. So except you're saying they should have multiple games villages. Except you're saying
I'm saying that
they should put them in
they should
hotels
have had the
close to the
accommodation,
stadium.
yes.
No, they can't. So every time we've done the National Sports Festival, we look for campuses. Students are on holiday. We look for campuses and we put athletes there.
There's a school in Abeokuta. Why didn't they use that one?
Because there's a better school that can take everybody, which
Must
is
we take
Babcock.
everybody in the same place?
Oh yes. London 2012. There was a massive.
You're always apples and oranges.
So London
Apples and
2012. We put
oranges.
everybody together in the same games village. The Olympics in Brazil. They put everybody together in the same place.
Apples and oranges.
No, they're not. So why do you want to scatter everybody? Segregation. They will now say, oh, then the complaint will now be they put us in a fine place. This was they put us in the place was worse than where put them together in the same place. Let them eat together. So one of the objectives of the National Sports Festival and the
unity.
Olympics and whatever, unity, bonding. They bring people from different parts of Nigeria. They come together. They bond together. They make friends. Exchange cultures and all
When
of
you were
that.
in London 2012, by the way, what did you get any of those freebies?
No, I did. I
You
wasn't
didn't pick
interested.
anyone at the entrance of the...
No, I didn't. I was forming. How.
Did you parley? Did you...
I was the first Nigerian to talk to
So that
Anthony
means
Joshua.
you didn't use any of the...
No, I was the first Nigerian to talk to. So I came back to Nigeria with a long interview of Anthony Joshua that I was breaking into parts and I was playing on that my radio show that year. And then I told everybody who cared to listen that 5 years from that time,
Joshua was
going to be a world champion. God rest his soul, Deji Tinubu. The day Anthony Joshua won his world title, Deji Tinubu called me that night, said you said it, and the following morning on radio, the following Monday on radio, they talked about it. So some of us, we don't just do this.
So it's only Joshua's story. It's only Joshua's story.
No, that's a high point of my Olympics.
No, you asked the question. And
And he
you
answered.
answered.
All right, guys, let's move away from the National Sports Festival. NBA, the regular season is over. The playoffs are on, but we're not going to talk about the playoff per se.
Yeah.
The MVP, regular season MVP, Shai Alexander has won.
Gilgos.
Gilgos. Shai Alexander has been named the
They will not
regular season
remove your compound name.
Okwe.
Why are you always asking a question? You know,
I like the fact that Okwe is
three
here.
times now. I've been watching you.
Yes.
First one you ask, I kept quiet.
If I have my
Second
way, you
one,
want
I
to go
kept
talk
quiet.
on this show today.
On this show?
Yes, today.
So that me and you are doing together.
Okwe, Jari.
Shai has been a tremendous player. He has been up and doing this season, and I think what's stopping him from getting the MVP? So it's a good one for him and for his team.
So you think he deserves it more than Jokic?
It depends on the team you're playing for, the caliber of team you're playing for, and doing that particular, having the workload on your head.
Scoring the number of points he
You
scored this
understand?
season.
So I think he deserves it.
He's led OKC well, Femi. He's led OKC very, very well.
He has. And I think it's that sort
Can they
of
win?
superstar.
Can they win it?
I
overall?
think they can.
They look good.
I feel that.
Why do you? Yeah,
So
I had to think about
because,
it.
Yes, I had to because they say this is the year of the
Before
underdog.
you-
This is the year of the underdog.
Before
And
you bear.
you know that Timberwolves are a good team. New York Knicks are a good team. And I don't want to...
Shai.
Yes, Shai is very... But the good thing is that these other teams I've spoken of, they have a complete squad.
Yeah.
But you now have a super player. You just mentioned good. You have a super...
Exactly.
So when it chips it down, you need someone to take the game by the scruff of the neck. That's that guy.
And
He's
Shai has
that
done
good.
that.
He's everything. I hope he stays on for a very long time because I saw the Olympics. I remember him at the Olympics.
You didn't like
2024.
him?
I didn't like one pink boot, and I'm like, what's going on with
Is your
this guy?
problem the pink boot or that he was not good? You just
Pink
hate
boots.
pink.
Pink boots. Why will you wear pink boots?
Why not?
I'm very careful.
Because of this thing. I'm wearing pink next week on the show.
I wore pink
And
last
again,
week.
Shai looks like that guy that you can't even really depend on. When he's playing, you be like, who is this?
What's he doing?
What is he doing? Who is this guy?
But then you look at the
Now,
numbers.
Yeah.
then you now look at his legs.
He's
That's the
pink.
boots.
And then he's one of those players that you hardly hear funny stories about.
No drama.
Yeah,
no drama.
yeah.
Not like,
So congratulations to Shai for winning the regular season MVP. We're going to take another break on the show. When we return, it will be time to talk about the race for the Champions League in the Premier League. There's still a lot
No prediction.
Please. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. You're still watching Sports Hub on NigezieXtreme. My name is still Joseph Faulkner. I've got Okwe Yemi with me and the other guy on the show. I will not call your name today. There's nothing you can do. I'm not going to call your name today.
I want to give you a prediction. My prediction for next season. Arsenal will...
As I was saying before, I was bitten by a mosquito. So, Eric Shell released a list of players to prosecute the Unity Cup in London. And I've had some surprises on the list. We're going to give you a graphics of all the players invited to camp. Bokwe, have you seen the list of players? Were you surprised? Were you shocked at any name on that list?
Of course, I'm not surprised. Good list, if you ask me, because of the influx of the MPFL player. I think I love it. I like it, and even the players. I think the what they call up 2 players from Rangers, the captain. It has been long overdue. People have been clamoring for him to be there. 2 players from 3 players rather with Isaac success. Everybody wants him to be there and all of that. So from Remo Stars, we have Sikiru Alimi. From Ikorodu City, we have Waliu Jotoye, the captain of the side. And this Niger Tornadoes guy, Mustafa Papadaniel. Fantastic squad going to that particular tournament, and I love it.
So, a lot of times we ask for home-based players to be included in this team. The players he has selected into this team, because I know he tried to watch a few MPFL players. I saw him in Lagos a few times, and I heard he's traveled to different parts of Nigeria. Went to Kano, actually, to watch Kano players and all. Then he saw Yimba and Rivers. I saw pictures from there. But Femi, the players, the 8 home-based players in this squad, well-deserved, including Ahmed Musa.
Well, Ahmed Musa, yes. And I say this because if we're judging players based on the form they have in the league, Ahmed Musa has done well this season. Look at his number, goals per game ratio. Maybe the question would be, why didn't Rabiu Ali make the list? Because Rabiu Ali also had a goal. I think he's the 2nd top scorer in the MPFL this season. Based on that...
He's a scorer in Kano.
Yes.
Very, very influential.
Very influential, based on that. But again, the coach knows best. Maybe he has a lot of options in that position. He doesn't need someone
He actually
else.
has a lot of options.
What I love what he did, and she just mentioned is the Waliu, the Ikorodu City.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
He's
this
had
because...
a good season.
Yes,
he's had a good season. Very, very good season.
He can play as a right back.
Yeah.
Can play as a right winger. He can play as a wing back.
Yeah.
He offers you... and
I saw him play as a DM.
He can...
I saw him play as a DM.
So good. Versatile in those two. So, I was a bit surprised that Rangers had more than 1 player on that list because, to be fair, I don't think Rangers this season have covered themselves.
They might not
don't look at the team. Look at the
individual brilliance. So those players they have in the individual.
For me, I think deserves to.
I agree. I agree. I think that the manager, and he said he wants to get a second view of all the players.
All the players.
And where best then friendly games, and not just any kind of friendly. You're playing against Ghana. Because every other manager will know the rivalry between Nigeria and Ghana, you take your best legs.
Exactly.
But this one, I said, you know what, I'm going to experiment. I'll see what happens. And whatever comes, I take it like that. So I'm a bit surprised he did not call them for the Russia game.
Even for what we call experimenting, right? He's still going with a strong squad.
So
I'm just hoping that we see those players.
There's there's Felix Agu who was called up. He's just called up for training purpose only.
Yes.
And they clearly explained that.
Yeah, but that's good.
That's good. It shows that the manager is also looking for other options.
He's exploring.
Exploring, that's the word. I'm a bit surprised they didn't invite those players for the game against Russia. Because I thought that, look, if it's
also a friendly.
Give them those 3. Let them know that they have 3 games to play.
But do you think there's an opportunity that maybe for some reason something happens in London and then decides that, you know what, let me include 1 or 2 of these guys in the party?
I'm hoping that they're going to have visas to cross over because remember, Russia is in Schengen region.
So that's another thing. So what if they don't have visas?
So maybe that's it. But if it's not that...
Ismaila Sadiq, I'm happy that he's back in the side.
Yes.
I'm very happy he's back in the side.
He's also had a good season and he's flirted with going abroad. I think even Papa Daniel,
yeah.
He's also flirted with going abroad, but he's played very well this season for Niger Tornadoes. I think eventually, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is you taking the opportunity that presents itself to you. Because we all agree that some of the players in the Super Eagles are a bit too comfortable, right? So I'm not going to go against and saying, oh, MPFL. No, you've called them up, give them the opportunity. If they do well at the GTEC Stadium, then
are you not surprised Yana is being called up?
My sister.
I wasn't going to.
I like the fact that Joseph Faulkner is where he is, because if he switched from that position, leave him there, don't stress.
I'm not going to even get into that. Let's
just always make sure you have a good godfather.
Good Lord Almighty. Well, we wait to see what happens in London, but good one, Eric Chelsea.
He has beat Ghana. If Chelsea don't beat Ghana, no problem. We must beat Ghana.
I don't care what happens.
I'm
just hoping to see something. This lads perform very well. Let's move away from that. We start winding down on the show today. I'm very sure you've enjoyed this episode.
Part of the show.
But guys, the race for UCL football in England. Tottenham Hotspurs just grabbed one of the spots.
Today. Because you know that you secured the position.
We've qualified.
I hope next year you make another excuse again next year.
Till next year.
No, Arsenal is always finding a way
you must win something.
Till then.
You must win something.
Do you know how much money we made this year?
No, on that front I agree with you.
That's why we can spend about 300 million. That's why we can spend about 300 million. Watch!
Spurs will spend money now.
No, how much did they make?
No, Spurs have money. Our
TV rights money is more than what they made in Europa League. The 5 million that United collected as Europa League finalists, you know what they are going to use it for? To pay that clause in Mason Mount's contract. 4.5 million. So they will have 500k change. They will still be owing Adidas because they are paying Adidas 10 million euros penalty fee for not qualifying for UCL.
But you know,
United's problems are many, and that's why I feel don't sack Amorim. Leave him, let him continue the job. But the race for top 4 football, and we're going to be quick on this one.
I think it's going to be, we already know the top 2.
Man City are going in.
I think Man City, all Man City needs is a draw, and the goals difference is enough to take them to. So Man City, the 3rd team. I say Newcastle, the 4th team. Chelsea,
Newcastle playing Everton.
Yes, Newcastle. I think Everton, the season is over, and they're not playing at Goodison. I think this game was at Goodison Park. The last game at Goodison, it will be there. But Everton, the season checked out. I was going to say Aston Villa because they're playing Man United away from home, but I think it's the last game.
Lion.
Yes, so I will go Chelsea to make the last spot.
Okay.
I mean, as much as it's so painful that Manchester United is not in the mix anymore, but it is what it is.
Sorry, I need just whisper into my ears. Hold on. Like that, massive. Wait. Okay. You support Man United?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Don't say it loud so that nobody will hear.
Yes, I'm a United fan.
So leave United out of this conversation.
What are your other 3 teams?
It's just the emotion,
just leave United out of this conversation.
The emotion is playing a good part,
okay.
But it is what it is. So I'm looking forward to, Liverpool and Arsenal are taking the
3 teams have qualified for the Champions League. Liverpool, Arsenal, and Spurs.
So, in as much as City is my noisy neighbor, but they are in the midst. I'm looking forward to a Newcastle too. They've not really done bad, So I think Newcastle. Yeah.
Who else?
You know what?
What's the 3rd team?
Chelsea. Yeah.
Aston Villa's one is close.
Our prediction this weekend is going to be around those teams. Yes. Those teams playing.
It goes easy for me now.
It's okay. We shall see.
Are you the hold ball now?
Guy.
I don't know. Are you the hold ball?
Don't touch. That ball is cost. Since he stopped holding the ball, he started getting correct position. But guys, our predictions for this weekend, we're going to be looking at 4 games. Manchester United taking on Aston Villa. And that's because Aston Villa are also in the race for Champions League football for next season. Newcastle United taking on Everton. Newcastle look like they might finish 4th. I beg your pardon. Yeah. Look like they might finish 4th. And then Nottingham Forest taking on Chelsea. Both of them are actually also still mathematically still involved in the whole matter. And then Fulham, Manchester City. Femi, let's start from Fulham, Man City. Your prediction?
City to win the game. City to win away from home. Comfortably.
Okay.
City to win.
Okay, City to win that one comfortably. Last 3 meetings between the 2 sides, actually last 5, Fulham have not even picked a draw. It's been all City. All right, Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea.
I think that Forest have just lost him. Now, because of Tayo Awoni, I want Nottingham to win. But I think Chelsea are just better, so I'm going for Chelsea win.
Okay.
I think in like prior to 3 or 5 games, Nottingham Forest have not been really stable. You know, they came like fire and they are being cold of recent. So, in as much as I have our Nigerian brothers there, I want them to experience the Champions League. But I think I'm giving it to Chelsea.
I think Forest will win this one. And I'm saying it with my full chest. See, I set a trap for you and you entered.
No, man, no.
Forest to win that one. Newcastle United versus Everton. Okay, I'm starting with you. Newcastle Everton.
Easy. Newcastle.
There might not be Isak.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's Gordon.
It doesn't matter.
There's
I think.
You know what I almost said. you know what I almost said. Godot.
It's not the dry one. It's a wet Anthony Gordon.
Yeah, so okay.
Newcastle.
I think Newcastle will win this one comfortably. And then Manchester United versus Aston Villa. Wounded Lions.
Aston Villa,
because United have been terrible this season in Premiership. So I don't think
season is over.
The season is over. So you should know that
because
the season was.
They can't go anywhere.
So it's not useful. It's not useful. So Aston Villa, beg.
I think Aston Villa will win this one as well. I think Aston Villa will win this one. So it's been a wonderful day, and I've been so excited having Okpe Yemi join us on the show today. It's been one of the softest shows we've had in a long time. Even Femi behaved himself to some extent. The unruly one on the show. But guys, it's been a very, very beautiful Saturday morning.
Next week, Okpe will not be here now. You will come and meet
Thank
me
you.
now. And I will even move closer to you next week.
Thank you.
I will move
being on the show.
Obafemi,
Okpeyemi,
I will move closer
hopefully
to you.
we'll see you again very soon.
Oluwabumi.
Yeah.
And
Oluwafemi,
from me, Joseph Faulkner, I say keep sporting.
Don't
forget to. Who are you again on this show? Please don't forget to join in the conversation. Join us on all our social media platforms, on Instagram, on YouTube. Leave your comments. We'll be happy to read some of it. We've not done that recently, and I apologize for that. But starting from next week, I'm going to make sure we read some of your comments. Thanks for all of you that have followed the NigezieXtreme page on Instagram. Thank you very much. Keep the comments coming in. Until next week when we come your way, okay, Femi.
One hot one. What's that? Yeah, we need to do that.
How did you pass it?
One show. What was it?
How did you
do it again? How was that?
See you next week.